Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your dude, your rebel, your guy, Substance Level King Sergeant, aka Level 92. Saying what is up. Welcome, everybody, to another KeeKlip episode. But this here is KeeKlip 422 of the season, and of course, of the season as well. The 400s. We are really getting there, y'all. We're like 80 away from 500. So I don't know how long I'm gonna do the whole season for. I mean, I'll be surprised. That'd be like a whole 100 episode for the whole for the whole year. That'd be great. But I do like I said, a whole lot of things here, so we still got time. But right now, we're still gonna get down to some more Power Rangers. We are so close. We're this close to seeing the movie. So bear with me. I got a whole lot. So we looked at a whole lot of things over the past few videos. From meeting some of the cast members, giving a tribute to Jason David Frank, the history of the Power Rangers, the books, everything else in between. So we got a whole lot. So today, for the first time on the KeeKlip project, I'm basically going to do a top 5. And yeah, basically top 5 series. This was kind of hard. But I know what I like. I know the very, very, very favorite season I like, or a very series I like. But the rest of the other, I was like, there's a whole lot, and I'm definitely going off the old ones. Like you said, the new ones is somewhat like after, probably, I guess after Disney or whatever in between them. Some are okay, but like I said, I'm trying to just go with the old ones because I grew up with those. But so we're gonna do a top 5 favorite series. Now, like I said, some of these are not in order, but the last one is the number one, and I got an honorable mention. So bear with me here. So first, one I consider favorite, SPD, Space Patrol Delta. Yes, so this is basically where these guys are basically the law enforcement's Power Rangers, and definitely consider takes place, I think, in the year 2025, I believe, or 23, in a distant planet, like some far away. It's kind of like a Star Wars thing. And this is basically where the aliens and the humans become friends. And also there's humans with like supernatural powers, which of course most of the Rangers are. I do like the costumes. I definitely like the look. And especially the Megazords are always awesome. And this is where we kind of get to a whole lot of connections. Now, specifically with Jack and Sky, the Red and Blue Ranger. It's kind of like how brothers kind of argue and they don't get along all the time, but then they kind of find common ground. So they very well connected with each other. And another thing on this one, because I'm never going to be talking on this on another video. So there's a few episodes. More likely in the beginning, we get the A Squad. So this is basically B Squad in this case. A Squad is kind of like the more SWAT prepared type of team. Their whole costume, and I kid you not, their costume is basically Power Rangers in space uniforms. So I'm like, okay. And then another episode with Sky, he's fighting I think Mirror, I forgot how you say his name. He's like a mirror villain. His dad was also SPD, and this is when he was younger. And his costume was Time Force. So I'm like, okay, so is there like a connection there? Because Time Force that we knew was in 3000. This is way beforehand. So I don't know what's all that going on there. But I mean, but either way, it's definitely a good series. Of course, this is when Power Rangers was with the Disney era. When Jetix was a thing back then. It was definitely fun. It was cool. I definitely like the Megazords were great. The Ultra Megazord was basically the command center, which was basically a moving giant tower. And transforming with people in it, that's going to be kind of risky. But and of course they have the commander as the other extra ranger. They had a future ranger, and then one episode only was when they have a woman named Kat, and she was basically a ranger herself. And that was only one time. Loved the colors, loved the scheme. I'm like, okay. And of course, I never seen any other episode. I've never seen anything else. They have an episode where there's an orange ranger, but that's not an accurate thing. It was a dream because of Boom. But overall, still one of a top 5. I'll go at 5. I guess I'm going in order backwards, I guess. But yeah, that's part of SPD. So next up, and I want to get this right. So Turbo. Now this is the movie, but I'm talking about the show. So I don't know if I did do a review on this earlier. Either way, So Turbo, and I want to go specifically with the second season. First off, I still love the costume. I want the helmets. I definitely want the helmets. I want the, of course, the blue because my color. Um, Turbo, the movie. First off, okay, some people got mixed reviews about it. Okay, it's whatever. I thought it was all right. I do like the fact, okay, we got cars now because every other series, yeah, there's cars like later on down the line, but like more likely you're always gonna see animals or whatever kind of creatures. So with these having just being straight cars, I thought it was amazing. Now in the second season, now of course this is when the first group, it was Tommy, Adam, Tanya, and Catherine being from zero to here, and then they give it on to TJ, to Ashley, to Cassie and Carlos, and of course Justin, the new Blue. And I was like, okay, But the only reason I like the second season better because we seen the original like take over the whole entire like first four fronts, but now these guys they're not saying I wouldn't say better, but I mean they're good. But I do like the Zords and these because this is when they have the rescue Zords. So the regular Megazords, like I actually have, these rescue Zords, they can combine to their own thing, which I find that amazing because again we had the Shogun Zords, which was basically Ninja Zord, but they could walk, or they had like just regular body stance, and that's when it was like the third season, and it was huge. And of course, for Zio, they had like they had their own Zords as well, secondary, but I'll get to that in a minute. But no, I thought Turbo was good. It's cars and like I said, it kind of I think just produced more with more power down the line when it comes to Zords. I think with vehicles, it does make a better option. But I mean, it is what it is. So the second season of Turbo, or the second part of Turbo, I like. But yeah, the movie's still good too. And speaking of, we got Power Rangers Zeo. Yes, and I think this is the only tape. I do not know. But this is the I actually found that at Savers a while back, and I'm actually surprised. Now I did have a Zord, one of these. I had the Super Zero Megazord, and I got two of the legs from the original Zord. So this one is dealing with shapes. Yeah. Now the costumes here is very, very solid. And of course, I did a video about this a while back about the Gold Ranger staff, which again, thanks to my good friend Barbara from an old GameStop. This was like years ago, and I bought that half off. So I was like, yay. It was just cool. It was definitely cool to have. Definitely cool because of course the older toy was smaller, but throughout Z, I seen a little bit. I seen episodes here and then, and of course, like I said, we had Tommy, we had Adam, Rocky, Catherine, and and Tanya. And so this is where when Tommy was always like the white or the Green Ranger and the Mighty Morphin, this is where he becomes red, and then Rocky was red, he's now become blue. He becomes demoted. So I'm like, okay. The series was really good. I this one deals more with the Machine Empire, and okay, so they're battling robots. They're kind of more simple. The Zords are definitely great. Like I said, Super Saiyan Megazord, that was cool. And then, of course, this is when we get Jason back as the Gold Ranger. Because the original Gold Ranger was part of the, like the Agritarians, Troy from Triforia. And basically, and these are legit triplets. These are legit triplets. I think I follow my Instagram. And I'm like, all right, cool. And then and his Zord is basically a giant pyramid. I seen those at certain Goodwills. I still not buying it yet because there's a piece missing. I'm like, yeah. But no, I think Zeo was really good, and I think this is probably the only series where none of the Zords got destroyed. A lot of the series got like dismantled, but Zeo, I think it still kept going. Now, also, do want to point out this is where we don't see Billy become a Ranger because apparently in the older series, there was a time where they got young. And so they had to find the right thing to kind of make them go back to older again. And then I think they did it twice. Now, this is where Aisha, the old Yellow Ranger, gets her powers to Tanya. And this is the thing that gets me, and I want to put this on a separate thing. But, like, the fact that she stayed young and she's out, I think it's like another country or whatever. And so she can live out her life just doing that. Okay. How does that work? And of course, she's back to her age and the third is I question a lot of things. So this is where Billy kind of doesn't become the Blue Ranger anymore. He's now basically standing at the command center. But there was an episode where he did kind of age, and I was like, okay, it happens. But first, look at this. Look at the taping. Look at that. Look at the colors. Like these are like very very like bright colored costumes. And like I say, I never thought I'd see a day that Z was coming out on tape because there's only a few like shows that ever made on tape. I mean, at least right now you get the DVDs or find a stream. But again, just having the tapes is just, whew. Yeah. So Zeo, definitely a good fave in my book. So love yous. On to the next, technically number 2, Power Rangers in Space. Woo! And of course, this is the only tape they ever had in the market too. Now, of course, this is when they fought the Psycho Rangers. I like this one because this is where it's like, okay, this is basically where the end of the original Power Rangers kind of stopped. Because like I said, you had Mighty Morphin, you had Zeo, then Turbo. I'm sorry, then you had Alien Rangers, then you had Space. Now, surprisingly, I have the Mega Winger, the Astro Megazord. I had 2 of them. And then I have the V2 and the V5 Zords. So, I want the rest of the Zords because that actually looks cool. This is really nice because we see. So this is where Justin is now behind. So TJ is now blue, Carl's black, Cassie and Ashley are pink and yellow. So the Red Ranger Andros is basically he's stuck in space, so he's kind of like not from Earth, so to speak. He's from another another planet. Was it? I forgot the name of it because I remember just watching the episode. But yeah, he's from another distant planet, and of course we have the Silver Ranger Zane, which Justin Nemo, I forgot to mention in the last video, I had met him at Missouri Con in St. Louis. That was really great. He handed me his morph. I'm like, yay! It was cool. And then because we actually had more Zords here. Yeah, the Astro Megazord, the blue one. Then you had the Mega Voyager, which is basically the Zords. The Mega Wing, you had the Delta Megazord. So we had like a whole lot of and they had a combo Zord as well. So each Zord throughout the series always had a combo. And of course, like I said, with the Psycho Rangers, that's when they, Bad Rangers, of course, from Astrama, which was Andrew's sister, basically wants them to destroy the Rangers and everything. So it kept a good story. And this is basically where the end of Zordon ends. And this is where it continues on through just, newer eras and whatnot. Basically, like it was basically a curtain call for everything that we kind of had from the originals, continuing on and kind of, going with that story. But yeah, definitely a good piece of top 5 in my eyes. So now, before we get number 1, I want to do an honorable mention, and this one was kind of a tough one. Wild Force, dealing with animals, jungle animals. And this one actually takes the cake. Because they have their own Zords, but there's a time where, okay, one of the Rangers finds a crystal, they have another Zord. So technically, because I got 2, I got the Wild Force, the Congo, and the Pretazord. But there's also other Zords I don't have because I couldn't find in stores. And it was awesome. I'm like, okay, they can basically kind of switch off Zords and stuff. You can't do that in any other series. This one did. So they kind of got off the hook with it. Definitely a good story. Dark, very, very dark, like, background on the guy, Master Ord, and the Red Ranger Cole. It's some, like, very, very serious stuff. So, I was still give this an honorable mention. I mean, I wasn't going to put Time Force in there, but like I said, it was cool for what it was, but, like, it was just, yeah. So, this is an honorable mention to Wild Force, which brings me to my number 1 favorite series that will never change my mind. Lightspeed Rescue. Yes, this is where we deal with all the emergency vehicles, from a fire truck, a water truck, an airplane, a construction hash truck, and an ambulance. Okay, so the story, beautiful. The plots, on point. The character developments, definitely great. Superb. Ending, beautiful, sad but beautiful. It was cool. I definitely like now this Red Ranger Carter. Honestly, in my case, I thought he was a better Red Ranger. Now TJ was cool as Turbo, but he was better at Blue. But Carter, he actually takes the case. Like when you look at him, it's like okay, he looks like he could definitely lead a team and everything else in between. Because he was a fireman. Chad, the Blue Ranger, was a swimmer, like a traction swimmer. Joe was like a stunt pilot. Chelsea, she was just an adventurous chick, and then Dana was basically working at the Aqua Base where her father is a captain, and just basically taking care of all that. So I was like, okay, and everyone had their own little episodes. They had their own little spins. And I forgot to mention too in space. That's when they start having their own battleizers. So him. Galaxy was, I forgot, it's like a giant like laser thing, but Carter, his battleizer was his bike. So you gotta think, it's a piece of size of bike will go on your foot, and then the back is your whole like bike, and then like the handle will be on one hand, the window will be on the other. I'm like, how's that? How? I'm confused. But then the blue and the green, because blue had a hydro tank, and then the green had like a giant saw. But it was cool. I thought it was cool. Now the villains in here are awesome because these are demons that have been captured for God knows how many years, and so it does get dark. It really gets dark, and of course this is where we get the Titanium Ranger, which I'm kind of shocked at this because I'm gonna spoil this. So an episode where because I actually do have the tape. I think I do have the tape here. Right here. Okay. Titanium Ranger, Curse of the Cobra. Now, this is a very, very neat one. This is where we have the Super Train Megazord. So, this guy, Ryan, Captain Mitchell's son, Dana's brother, he has been stuck with the main villain, Diabolico, until he was 18 years old. So, at a young age, it was like they were driving somewhere, and they go off a cliff. They manage to survive. Ryan falls, and Diabolico comes up and saves him. So, all those years, he's able to be let go when he's 18. What are you doing all those years? I'm curious. What are you doing all those years? How do you go to school? Like, how do you learn to read? I'm trying to figure that out. I don't know if they kept them hostage, but like it was crazy. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was really cool. He's definitely good for a Sixth Ranger. I do like the costume, and compared to his morph. So in Power Rangers, which I actually have the morph for too, yeah, they basically do that, and it's like a giant like a little panel that goes in front and it's go like this. But for Ryan, same different, but it's different. So he throws it up, hands up, and then the V comes down. So I'm like, all right. And I think it was also cool on like the helmets here. They have certain shapes depending on what they are. So like, yeah, a fireman, I think a Marine, I guess, a hazmat, air, and medic. But I mean, like I said, it was cool because the costumes were okay. But like I said, I liked it because the story was actually good, and they definitely knew what to kind of put in to keep the people going. And for one, the Megazord, like I said, was great. They had the Rescue Zords, the Super Train, which I have for years since I was like 8 years old. A little bit still standing, but there's like a few things bitten off. But then the Titanium Zord, the Solar Zord, which, okay, a rocket ship that's also a train and it can fly. Okay. And the Omega Megazord, for that matter, it was basically it was worth it a few times. That was basically the space, like, stuff, spacecraft Zord. But yeah, it was good. I thought it was really beautiful. Cause I said the ending was definitely great. Cause, spoiler alert, they destroyed mostly all the Zords because the balance took over. But I said it was dark. It was really dark. And compared to everything else, compared to Wild Force would probably be first, but still, it was one of my favorite series, honestly. And I remember just watching every episode of it next to like other series. But yeah, this one right here is this is my breadwinner. This is my number one right here, y'all. So, hope you guys got top 5. Anything you got, any of your favorite series, put it on here. So we're going to be ending it as of now because we got a whole lot more. We're so close. Like I said, we're so close. So I cannot wait for the movie, and I have another video I want to do in mind. So, like always, thank you for watching the video. Like, comment, subscribe, and share away. Also find me on Facebook, facebook.com/dude1192 or King Sargent. You can also find me on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, all that on Dude1192 as well. Till next time, stay tuned for 423, and I'll see you when I see you. Peace. Stay awesome.